Howdy peeps, and welcome back to the Eduard Mark 8 Spitfire build series. It's another manky nasty winter's day here, so I thought come sit at the bench, look out the window at the nasty weather and get some modelling done. So excuse me, without further ado, where do we get to? Well, we had the main fuselage blah blah all done, the chin cowling, scoop and the rads for under the wings all put together, and it was just a case of putting them on next. So, most awkward one first being, I'm going to guess, the chin scoop, which actually lines up pretty damn well. Might take a bit of persuading that side, but hey, we can deal with that. That is not a problem. Again, back with the Tamiya extra thin. Might be a little bit of sanding to do after this, but you know, there's a lot of that involved in making planes. Lots of sanding seams and joins generally. Far more than you get with armour. I'm not saying that makes them better or worse, it's just different. They are, despite the obvious similarities of you're sticking pieces of plastic together and then you're wiping or blowing some paint on them, they are very different in their methods and techniques and how they go together and all that good stuff. So all the skills are transferable back and forth. There's no... Is that the right way on? I'm going to double check I've got that the right way. I think I have. Yeah. No, me without checking the instructions, I glue things on back to front. There we go. So that's those on. Don't grab it by the rads or the exhaust. I'll put that down and we'll figure out what goes on next. Oh, no wonder I was getting confused. I forgot to switch the pages in the instruction manual. Right. So we have option G6. Now we can have them up or down. Whichever they fit best in. So G, I think was that sprue. Or was that F? Nope, that's F. So that will be G then. Yep. So just snippy snip. Yeah, it's just these. And then we're on to the undercarriage. Wow, that's gone quick. So I think this is episode 9. And if we're looking at assembling or installing the undercarriage already, that can't be bad going. Mind you, there does generally tend to be a far far lower part count when it comes to planes than it does when it comes to tanks, so it's just one of those things. Alright, we won't use the tweezers then. No, they don't close that far. Oh, as soon as they overheat very quickly. I am putting them in the right way around, am I? No. That'd be why it's not fitting properly. There we go, much easier. Doo-ba-doo. What is that on the edge of my bench? It's all. Yeah. This edge of my bench is for some reason rather gunky. I think it's just a general build up over time of, well, paint and filler, and it's getting a bit sticky. Might be time to change my brown paper on my bench. It's been down a year and a half, nearly 2 years, so I can't really complain. Okay, so I'll set that to one side and let that all dry, and we'll start on the landing gear. So 33, 35, 51 and 52. Okay. Snip. Snip. It's telling me to do one at a time, but I'll chop off the bits for both, I think. As they are, you know, they're identical. Ooh, nearly lost it. There we go, that's one wheel's worth of bits. Now the second one. Ooh. This is one part that quite a lot of people do upgrade on a kit, is the wheels. They'll upgrade to resin. You do get better detail. But not everyone wants to add aftermarket to a build. Not everyone can afford to. I mean, I understand. Some people even just is not the right word. Even something like this, an Eduard 48 scale kit, could represent a significant outlay. Yeah, it's something we do kind of have to be mindful of. Not necessarily knowing others' financial situation, and it's although there are some things in the hobby you can save money on, there are some things that in my opinion you shouldn't be saving money on. For example, gloss coats. Now I know before everyone gets up in arms that people have been using Future or Clear for decades and it's been fine. Never given me a problem. I've never had a problem. I have. I've had Future go weird, go manky, not work for whatever reason, and mess up a model. Now, I know it's a few quid for a half litre of the stuff. As opposed to sort of £6–7 for a smallish bottle of aqua gloss, or a couple of quid for a tub of X22. But they're modelling products. They're designed for what we do with them. They're harder wearing, more chemically resistant, I think is probably the correct term. And and I know, yeah, that the excuse me, the aqua gloss, it's sort of £7 for, of course, £6 or £7 for how much is in there, 120ml. Now versus less than that for 500ml of Future. I can kind of see it, but a bottle of that aqua gloss, well, it lasts me a year, and the amount of models I build, it's not a significant investment compared to the cost of a kit. I'll put it that way. And I'm not exactly loaded. It's just different strokes for different folks. If you use Future and you've never had a problem with it, go for it. But you won't find me using it as a gloss coat on a model. You might find me using it, or you will find me using it as gloss varnish for things like windscreens, or not windscreens, what am I talking about? Dashboards or instrument panels for dial faces. Yeah, I'll use it for that. I've got a little pot of it on the bench for that. But airbrush over the whole model? No. And I know some say, oh, but you should apply it with a brush. Hell no. End up with a big thick coat of it. It takes forever to dry. Yeah, that's not for me. So yes, I do sometimes get myself a bit of aftermarket for a kit. Not a lot, and not very often. But sometimes certain kits deserve a bit of aftermarket, or need it. And sometimes you just think, well, what the hell. For example, the 1/48 scale flanker that I built Christmas before last as part of a buddy build, I threw quite a bit of resin at that. Most of the weapons were resin, the wheels were, the ejector seat, the nozzles. But I wanted to do that on that kit, and same with the Typhoon. That had resin wheels, resin guns, resin nose, the intake thingy on the front, fabric seat belts, that kind of thing, because it's a big marquee build. It's not, and again, not knocking a 148 spit. Oh, trying to find my drink, don't know where I'll put it. Oh, there it is, I hid it. Yeah, not trying to knock a 148 spit, but I'm not going to say they're a dime a dozen, because you know they're not. But you compare something like this to a 48 flanker, which is monstrously big in comparison. A 24 scale Typhoon, which again is huge. They're kind of marquee builds. You might build one, maybe two kits like that a year. And to me that warrants a little extra cash being thrown at it. Right, so now we're putting together the landing gear, or the actual legs. And it's giving us options for the various markings, so we'll have to figure out which one it is. We want G23 then, right. 54, 45 and 23. Right. 54. Yeah, it's and again, if you want to throw all the aftermarket you can find at every build you do, go for it. Now, if you're only building a couple of kits a year, then yeah, there's no, don't worry about it. Well, say if you're like me and you build many, I think last year I lost count around 50. Got to the point where I couldn't remember what I'd done last year and what I hadn't done. So, you know, it's one of those when you can't actually remember, you know, you built too much. Right. I have to use a knife to clean these up. Yes. As the sander won't get into the fine detail to get rid of the seam line. Not that we're particularly worried about it on the back of the gear leg, because that's never going to be visible, but it might just help the glue joint a bit, be a bit sturdier. Although I will say one thing I do plan on doing in the not too distant future, because I'll probably be building something with, is how I deal with resin. Dun dun dun. So that will be fun, won't it? Just making sure I've got this the right way around. Yeah. Guessing it goes on those. Oh. Yeah, so I'll do a quick how I do dealing with resin. Again, it's one of these things that not necessarily everyone's done or is familiar with. So I'll get one of those filmed next time I'm building a kit that involves resin, which will probably, it might be a while. Well, a while from when I record this anyway. So yeah, it's I don't think I've got anything in the wings that requires resin. This requires sanding, however. But yeah, it's a funny product to deal with sometimes. And it's one of those where people will give you massive warnings about the health aspects. Then someone else will go, no, it's fine. In that case, I would say it's better to be safe than sorry. You know, so saying that, when I'm doing the recording of it, I won't be wearing a mask or anything because I'll be trying to talk as I'm doing it. But hey ho. The amount of gunk that's gone into my lungs over the years, a bit of resin dust probably isn't going to make a huge amount of difference. So my last job I was working in a warehouse that was basically made out of asbestos, so you know, if there's anything, it's going to be asbestosis probably, which if there is, I know it's basically one of those terminal thingies, not a lot they can do about it, short of a lung transplant, but hey, get a good payout. Right, so put the glue in the back of the wheel well. Glue the wheel onto the landing gear. Yeah. So if there's anything else I do that you'd like me to, or anything you're not sure of, or random stuff techniques or whatever, let me know. Send me a message, just leave a comment on this or one of my videos. I'll see what I can do for you. Can't guarantee anything because some things either I'm no good at or can't do yet, or they're just bloody awkward to try and film. But you know, I can give it a go, I can think about it. Obviously if you want a review of a kit and I haven't got it, well, that's a bit different. But especially if it's something I have no intention of getting. It's probably kind of like that thing on the games consoles where you get invited to play a game by one of your friends. So and so has invited you to play. Well, when it goes way back, it used to be trying to remember the actual name of the game rather than what I called it. Gears of War. and they put a thing in that game where if you were playing it and you wanted to play online, you could send an invite to your entire friends list. So people who didn't have the game got sent an invite to play the game, and that was real annoying. So and so invites you to play Quiz of Paul. I don't have it. Yeah, and yes, I did used to call it Quiz of Paul. It's such a god awful game. Was that the second one? I think it might have been the second one, because I did have the first one and it was just like, really, what's all the hype about? It was basically a bog standard third person shooter, but your gun had a chainsaw attached to the end of it. Wow. Yeah. Didn't grab me then, doesn't grab me now. There are far better games to be playing. Yeah, that's pretty much why I got back into modelling. Was the I was just sat there and gaming away, and I thought I need something else. I can't just sit here in front of this screen all day every day when I'm not working, and no, I had to find another hobby, so I started out by going fishing, and then I thought, yeah, fishing's great, but in the winter I'm getting cold and wet and not particularly enjoying it too much. So I thought, what else can I do? So then I started, I've got a couple of radio controlled cars, built those and had a bit of a drive about, and just driving about doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, I'm a racer through and through, so you know, it's just if I'm just driving around up and down the street, I soon get bored. I mean, within about 2 minutes it's like, okay, done now, what can I do? Why are you not wanting to go in there? Right, I'll get the angle of the dangle. And this is one of those things I do that will no doubt have a lot of plane modelers going, what's he doing? Oh my god. That's gluing the landing gear on already. Now, doesn't bother me. You know, people build how they want to build. In my case, I don't think these are small enough sub-assemblies, or large enough sub-assemblies to actually worry about painting separately. And if the model can't support its own weight on its landing gear, then there's something wrong with the model, in my book anyway. What are those holes on the side of the nose for? I think I've missed a bit off. I did. G48. But yeah, I generally fully assemble the plane and then start painting it. I don't go in for the leave all the little detail parts off, paint them separately. Oh, crack the camera. I can't be dealing with that because A, I'd probably lose them, or B, I'd forget to put them on, or as is more likely with me, when I did put them on I'd probably just get glue everywhere and have to repaint the whole thing anyway. So I find it better not to. So that's just me. If you prefer leaving the landing gear off and the aerials and all the fiddly bits, go for it. Personally, I'm going to stick them all on, including fiddly tiny farty bits that just, there we go, and more glue, nudge it up, there we are, and this one goes in that little outside hole there. There we go. And back to the clear parts again. For A15. Oh dear, that time's gone quick. It normally does when I'm at the bench, but not normally that fast. Right. Well, let's tell you what I'm going to do. I'm basically just going to stick this little clear part in that hole there. But before I do that, I'm going to paint the back of it silver. So, without further ado, I'll call it that on this episode. Next episode we'll probably see, I'm guessing, final assembly. Because it's just the tail gear, prop and cockpit, canopy, sorry, and we're done. So, enjoy your modelling, have fun, peace out, that way might help. Rock on, and bye bye.